Hello and happy Sunday. Happy Tarot Playdate. All right. I'm going to say a few quick hellos. Happy to see you all back here again. Hello, Jilly, Little Zen Crone, Penny Pinch, Emma, hello. Hey, Simon. Jamie, hello. Hi, Sandra. Let's see who else have we got in here. Dragonfly Whimsy, hello. Science to Soul, Tarot with Jen. Hey, Jen. And for all of you who don't know, it is Jen's birthday in Australia because it is the 16th now because she's up bright and early. So if we can give Jen a happy birthday. And I also think I saw Artistry of Tarot in here. And if I recall correctly, it's your birthday today as well. So we have two happy birthday shout outs to give that I happen to know about. Let's see. Heather. Hello, Heather. Hi, Vicky. Thank you for joining. Hello, Becca. All right, let's see. Scrolling. Jen, the middle-aged baby witch. Okay, we've got a lot of our Jens here. Let's see who's else. Lori, hello, Lori. I don't know. I almost called you Harry, but I call Simon a hermit and Herman and Herminator all the time in this chat. So, hi, Diane. And who else do we have in here? I feel like I missed somebody. BB, hello, BB. Okay, I think I've said hi so far to everybody that's in the room, and I will just keep saying hi as much as I can keep up with the chat. Hello, Maharet. Hello, Psychic Knitter, Carola. D9. Okay, so this last week, we had the Two of Swords. I have to admit, I did not finish watching the playback and getting all my notes for last week's Playdate until yesterday. It has been a bit of a week for me. So I don't know if anybody else has kind of joined me in using the tarot coloring book to color the card for the week. But my sad colorless Two of Swords. But today is going to be a full day of tarot, and so I'm betting I'm going to color that and this one. Oh, and here's our other Jen. Hello, Jennifer. Thank you, Heather. So Heather just posted the link to the, yes, I'm going to talk about the sweatshirt in a second. Heather just posted the link to the Facebook Tarot Playdate Facebook group. If you haven't joined, we've had more and more people joining, and it's great fun because people then post other versions of the card for the week. We've had people posting the results of their tarot playbook activities or the alternate activities that we do each week. And it's the more people we get in there, the more fun and discussion we can have. I apologize. I probably didn't comment as much as I have in prior weeks. Just again, personally, it was a bit of a challenging week for me, but things are looking up. I also want to say, I think Elle's activity this last week was a big hit. And I saw a lot of people posting about that. So that's been great. Let's see who else has come into the room. Hello, Anne and Wendy. Nice to have you here. Now, I have another question. So did anybody who's in the room now, I feel like most of you probably were in the live chat, but if you're not in the live chat and you're watching this back, or if you're in live chat now, I would love to know, was it, if you watched the playback and weren't in the live chat, I'm curious to know if not knowing what the card was in advance was a bit more fun, or if you think it's more helpful to know what the card was. I did try to change yesterday. I tried to change the little YouTube thumbnail in the Facebook group so we could actually say what the card was before I filmed today. And the cached image will not change to save my life. I went into like Facebook debugger. I was down the geek rabbit hole and I could not get that sucker to change. So I might have to kind of figure out a little something different this week. Hello, Kiana. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah, so my Harry Potter. So I got this when I was in the UK, and Sandra and I got to spend the day together. Sandra, the Whispering Well, who's right here, I see you. And we went to the real King's Cross Station, platform 9 3/4 shop, and I get a souvenir. So every time I wear this, and it's so comfortable, but I think of my day with Sandra. So it's a special memory for me, that's for sure. All right. Oh, gosh. Wendy, the flu, that sounds not good. Not good. Hi, Olga. Hi, Robin. The Tarot Magician, I don't think I said hi to you earlier, but I remember seeing you. Sorry about that. Elizabeth and Athena's Path. I don't think I've seen you before, so welcome. Okay. let's get right into, if we can here. And also, I'm going to say this at the beginning. I'm going to say this at the end as well. Next week, Sunday, December 22nd, we are going to have a break from Tarot Playdate. I think that'll be good anyway. I have some things going on with my work, but also I just think that's, you know, the Sunday before the Christmas holiday. And maybe this will give people a chance to kind of catch their breath and catch up on Tarot Playdate if they're behind. I know, I'm sorry, but I will be back. I will be back on the 29th for sure. Oh, Simon. Now, yeah. So, oh yes, that's right. It is the winter solstice as well. So we will pick it right back up right before New Year. So we head into the new year in full play date mode, I think. All right. Oh, yes, Jennifer just said, so they are doing, Jennifer Ball and Simon are doing a special catch up in cards on Simon's channel next Saturday. This is a tradition for them. I think this is 3 years running, you guys, I think. So I think that'll be great fun. And I wasn't going to necessarily be able to go, and now I know I'm going to be able to attend that. So that should be fun. All right. If anybody wants to share anything about their Two of Swords, you're welcome to do that. But in the meantime, I would love to collect more questions from folks. So remember, every week we gather 5 questions that we want this card to either answer for us, or that we just generically want to see if we could figure out how to answer our question with a single card pull. I have my pen at the ready, and I know some people asked questions last week that I wasn't able to get to. So if we didn't get it in last week, I'd be happy to catch it this time. Oh, I know, Jen, you actually said that you had a question you would bring back this week. I know, I forgot to. We don't know the card yet. We're going to ask the question first, and then we're going to pull the card. I've just been babbling for the last 7 minutes, really, Robin. How can I balance my priorities this week? I like that one. And once again, thank you to my moderators who are in the room. I really appreciate it. What does the coming year hold for us? Ooh, good one. Okay, writing frantically. Okay. Okay, so we got another one. What do we need to stop obsessing over, says Anne. I like that. Kind of an opposite. Oh boy, I gotta be careful when shuffling. I feel like what we need, no, not start obsessing over, stop obsessing over. That would really change things up, wouldn't it? Okay, and then we have, let's see. What can I expect at work from Jennifer? Yeah, we've never really asked about work. So what can I expect at work this week? How can I contribute to peace on Earth? That's deep, Simon. Let's save that one for next week, because we have a what does the coming year hold? That's a good one. But I like this from Stephen here. Anything to let go of in 2019 in preparation for 2020. So Stephen, did you see Simon's tag, let go of in 2019 to prepare for, I'll finish my sentence here in a second. His my 2020 vision spread, that was great, and that was one of the positions in the spread. Okay. All right, so I think I got 5. So our 5 questions, and there were a lot of good ones. So if I didn't pull your question, write it down and bring it back next week. So question 1, how can I balance my priorities this week? What does the coming year hold for me? What do we need to stop, not start, obsessing over? What can I expect at work this week? And what to let go of to prepare for 2020? Boy, what do let go of? What do let go of? If only I could read my own writing. All right, I want to remember that peace on Earth. Oh, I can't do Simon's? No, sorry, in 2 weeks. Do you guys really want Simon's question, don't you? Let's see, what can we do here? You know what? Maybe we'll just ask a 6th question. Let's just ask a 6th question today, and we will answer our first question with you guys, I know you're calling me on the next week. How can I contribute to peace on earth? You know, we're going to do it because even though I have an agenda, there are technically no rules, right? And we will, in the end, pull 6 cards if we include our Rider-Waite. So, all right. I got it. We're just going for it. All right, so we are going to put our 2 of Swords away and pull our new one. And I probably have missed a lot of the chat while writing those down. So once again, if you really want to grab my attention, if I'm not catching, you know, if you throw out something and I don't seem to catch it, feel free to put it in all caps or tag at Jen's Balanced Tarot. And so it will highlight for me so I see it. Oh, good. Thank you for the feedback, BB. I asked a little bit ago, like, what you guys thought about not spoiling the card. I'm glad that was enjoyable. I think I like that format. Okay, here we go. Hopefully no dropsies today. I'm thinking of all of our questions. Talk about a multitasking brain. Okay, thank you. Yes, if you are enjoying this, those thumbs up. I don't obsess over them, but it really does help me to know if this is resonating with all of you. Yeah, we haven't had any fire yet. Okay, here we go. When I get down to like 2 cards, the shuffling is going to be crazy. All right, and our card. Woo! Now, does anybody find this sort of ironic that we have another 2 and another card that sort of represents balance? This card for me is my, like, I get this card so much, so you can probably blame me. This card is all about balance to me. They are all good cards, aren't they, Simon? Okay, Jen, I promise to try. I mean, not to try, but I'm sure I'll drop something before this day is done. You know I always do. Appropriate, struggling with finances due to Christmas shopping. So the first thing we kind of like to talk about is, you know, what are our first impressions of this card? So now, because, oh, you guys, the first question. So today we're actually going to try and answer this question as well, but I also just want to hear general impressions of this card. But our first question was, how can I balance my priorities this week? Does this feel a little on the nose to anybody else? It's just saying, just do it. Just balance. Hi, Elle. Hi, Gwen. Let's see. I don't know if there's anybody else who's come in that I haven't said hi to, but if I haven't, hello and welcome. Always, always, always glad to have you all here. His hat is super tall. Could make him a little top heavy, couldn't it? I love the infinity symbol. We are always balancing, says Jilly. Yes. This card feels really vibrant to me today. This particular version of the card. Just love this. Yeah, the lemniscate really stands out, doesn't it? One of my favorite symbols of all time. Juggling finances and multiple priorities. Dancing a jig to keep things in balance. Don't let the tides rock you. Keep your feet on firm ground, says Robin. He does look. You know, you could look at it that way, Emma. All right, I want this to better focus for you. Come on. Is that any better? No, I got to hold it with my right hand. Balance for sure. Wendy says, always notice the rough sea and boat still afloat when drawn to that in a reading. Always feel this is saying, although finding difficult to balance things at the moment, you are keeping afloat. And yet today, for whatever reason, and this isn't something that always grabs my attention, although I do know they're there. It's like the big boat, and then is that like a little tugboat right there? What is that? A tugboat. This card always reminds me of a circus Selkie. Yeah, you know, in some decks you really see a more, I think, jester-like figure in this card. Emma, you have just ruined this card for Jen. Well, maybe not ruined it. Maybe she likes it better. She just knows she'll never see it the same. Ups and downs, rough sea, right? I mean, these waves really go along with sort of this juggling action, right? The ups and the downs. I think that's both of those are very in sync with one another there. Multitasking, assessment, says Jamie. Have balance, but also have fun. Keeping all of the balls in the air. Oh gosh, I'm not coordinated today. You have to have sea legs on. Oh, you have to have sea legs on and off ship, says Diane. Yeah, I got my emphasis right there. Simon says the boat symbolizes not to sail too close to the wind. Not to sail too close to the wind. Robin, perpetual nature of our finances going up and down, looking rather sad when our finances are low. Yeah, so he is looking down, right? So what do we think that, you know, that's one way to kind of take note of the position of his head. Come on, focus. There we go. Had to get it off my face. Hello, the Bastet 777, flexibility. Olga, confidence that you can handle it. Kiana says, considering two options. Elizabeth says, you have a lot to deal with and you'll deal with it with ease. Gwen says, balancing things is not impossible, but we need to be mindful of how long we can keep it up before we drop something. But, you know, I'm pretty sure this right here, this card, like epitomizes my life. Maybe that's a bit of an overshare, but I'm just saying. And I just can't kind of get over the fact that we got this. I feel like with the holidays, getting the Two of Swords and then getting this Two of Pentacles, it just feels really like it makes sense. I know how to articulate. It really makes sense. Let's see. Kiana, resourcefulness. Robin, while juggling his finances, it appears he's tightened his belt. You're very good at kind of taking those literal interpretations of the card, Robin, and bringing that into the question. I think that's really interesting. Forever Wear, an earth card attempting to stabilize water, emotions. Yeah, there is a lot of water. And, you know, we have the same thing in our two. I don't know why I keep going back to the Two of Swords, but lots of water in that Two of Swords as well. Is his left foot even on the ground? I think so. But I suppose it depends on how that card speaks to you at the time you pull it, right? Simon says the large hat symbolizes ego. Keep it in check and look what's going on behind you. See, and Simon has that great book, every time I know what it's called, but I don't have it in my hot little hands yet. If I don't get it for Christmas, I'm totally buying it for myself. Fluctuating finances, says Anne. Precarious but happy balance. Constant flux, says Heather. Wendy, can't take any more on. You have enough to deal with. Yeah, you throw one more thing into the mix here. I'm not sure it stays quite as evenly balanced. Phoebe, enjoying a little bit of chaos and risk. Heather, yeah, he's meant to be standing on one leg. That's how I've always interpreted it, kind of that, adding a little bit more precariousness to it. Time management, Kiana. The ultimate guide to the Rider-Waite-Smith. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Simon. I can picture it in my head. I know exactly what it looks like. Elizabeth is noticing big steep mountains equals big tasks. So in this version, I don't really see mountains, but I definitely see big waves, and maybe that can still symbolize that same thing. Julia, OMCS. Oh, hello. I don't know quite how to say your handle, but hopefully that's close enough. Each ship is going the opposite direction. Are they headed towards each other? I guess I just kind of assumed that this little guy was heading this way, but maybe. Wow. What the heck is under his hat? Oh boy, we could speculate all day on that, couldn't we? Kiana says the elongated hat could be the act of thinking. Psychic Knitter, you are able to juggle a lot at once and do it with ease. And you're able to play all the characters and enjoy yourself even. But don't forget to look after yourself and stay true to your core. And Elizabeth just little emoticon. Phoebe, feeling some anxiety about whether you can keep going at your current pace. Kiana, two opposing forces. Gwen, the infinity sign reminds me of how easy it is sometimes to fall into the toxic, endless cycle that won't break until something falls. Wow, yeah. Okay, Simon. Interestingly, the red stands for will and passion and the yellow for eagerness. The color of the tunic represents a mixture of the both. So once again, it brings it all back to balance. Hi, Debbie. Jamie, I don't know if I said hello to you, but if I didn't, hello. The little boat in the past and the big boat in the future. Right? Okay, so because this one's on the left, this one's on the right when you're looking at the card. Interesting note. Hi, Amethyst Moon. Aquarius Al says this could be a rut. Julie is questioning Rachel Pollack. Rachel Pollack calls them cheerful waves. Julie is doubtful. Sorry, I'm just narrating what you mean, Julie. You'll have to tell me if I got that wrong. And keep your foot on solid ground. The seas look choppy. Yeah, little boat, big boat, seeing all those, let's see, rough waters but clear skies, external imbalance. Yeah, we don't have any clouds in the sky, but we certainly have those big waves. I feel like it's a lot easier to ride the waves if the wind is not blowing too hard. Simon, the green of the lemon, of the lemniscate, I bet that's an autocorrect situation there, is the color of life, vitality, growth, and therefore also to have hope. Yeah, I really tend to look at this card for the most part in a positive way. And I know every card has sort of positives and negatives. I don't know, but usually I see this as a good thing. It usually tells me that I have the ability to balance, or I need to balance. Amethyst Moon, you can only keep your eye on one thing, but aware the second is there. Ready? Wendy, this came up in a reading for someone who just came out of a relationship. I had a gut feeling this was saying she was struggling to keep emotions in check and having a rough time, but would weather it and get through it, right? Yeah, the voiceover text, I just almost never can because it just doesn't work. Lots of red, the root chakra grounding, says Jilly. France Claire, hello, France Claire. Big boat is the rich galleon versus the small working fishing boat. Yeah, it looks like a little fishing boat or a tugboat. I love these little boats, though. Come on, focus. There we go. Alice says, I remember Jeff saying that when he was diving and got scared, the instructor got close up to his goggles and shielded the rest of the view with his hand, so all Jeff could see was the instructors. Robin, must be something weighty under that hat. His head is tilted to provide counterbalance to that 1 foot stance. Yeah, so he's got that off weight, keeping things in balance. Alice said, face. Oh, this card always reminds him of that. The guy in this card is intentionally getting you to focus on what's between his hands, right? Does anybody ever watch the show Survivor? I know, reality television, judge me if you will. But I watch it, and a lot of times they'll have these games where they have to hold something against something for a long period of time, or they have to balance something. And it's always about that concentration and looking at whatever it is that they're trying to balance. And it's not usually, it's not because their arms get tired, although that happens. But a lot of times what causes them to lose or drop is just shifting their focus away from that thing for just a second. Emma, strikes and gutters, ups and downs. Guy doesn't seem to be having a rough time, but is trying to find balance in his life. Heather feels meh about this card. Oh, this is a card. This card comes up for me so much. I can't feel meh about it. The waves, Jamie says, the waves represent to me that this is life up and down and finding balance. Gwen says, woo, now we're flying. Gwen says, this card always reminds me of how capable we are to stay in balance and makes me feel grateful. Can't keep the live chat going. Amethyst Moon says, I'm new and never thought the boats meant so much. This is what I love about this group, because everybody sees and notices all those little things. I don't think yet there's been anything that we really haven't discussed about something that's in a card. Let's see. They don't do that anymore, Jen. They don't eat the gross things. That's from years ago. All right, Simon. Life like is a great ship in full sail, which needeth ballast, that its weight be sufficient for a proper passage, by Gottfried Keller. Interesting. Yes. Robin says, the lemniscate reminds me of the myth of Sisyphus. Sisyphus. Oh, man. You guys do this to me on purpose. He'll be balancing those pentacle lemons forever and ever. Try sitting on one leg with your eyes closed. It's impossible. Well, at least he has his eyes open. Stay in the present moment. Don't look, think, and worry what is ahead or what you are leaving behind. You can handle what is right in front of you. 2s, partnerships, balance, division, duality, and choice. Simon says the waves indicate life is full of high points and low points. Stephen says it feels like he is performing for an audience of some sort. Yeah, it definitely does. And again, that's another thing that I often see come up in other versions of this card, which we'll of course pull. Although I have an interesting selection of cards this time, you guys. Jeff Probst is about to give him the immunity idol for the week. But can he balance it with all this other stuff he has going on, or will he drop it? Heather says, this card for me is normally a reminder that you can't have good without the bad. Both are necessary to appreciate life. Yeah, we all want to hang on to the good for as long as we can, but if we don't have that balance, you wouldn't appreciate the good if you didn't know anything but that. Let's see, go with the flow, the ships. So somebody earlier was asking, what do the ships really mean? Going with the flow, performing a DUI test. Oh, Lori, if you knew my week. No, I did not get a DUI, but I'm just saying yeah. Let's just hope nobody here has to go through that. White Tree Tarot, hello. First impression of this card when I first saw this was multitasking. Absolutely. Julie says, wave equals water, the ups and downs of emotions, balance with earth, balancing emotions with rationality and practicality. You guys have done a really great job of pulling, our impressions of this card and the different symbols. So, I won't forget the reverse, but yes, no accountability, says Jamie. I highlighted on my agenda, and I'm going to make myself look at it like in big red letters so I don't miss it again. And even last time I said, I'm not going to miss the reverse today, and then I nearly did. The RWS often has the stage on the card as though the characters are in a show. Yes. All right, so now we've talked a little bit about this, but let's bring it to our question. How can I balance my priorities this week? So let's just kind of throw out. So if we see, so this isn't a fact that we need to. The question was how. So with that question in mind, what would you say if you pulled this card? Simon, remember, you already have what you need in your hands to juggle and keep things under control, right? So how can I? Remembering that you can, right? Having that can-do attitude, if you will. Athena's path, connection, duality between material and spiritual world, inner self, outer world. Jen says this card really speaks to her. Oh, I got my incense coming right in my face. Balancing, finishing, gift, shopping, making, as well as needing to do intense doggy diet research. Oh, that sounds fun. Your pooch must have a sensitive tummy. Stay practical, says Jilly. This card really is salty with respect to this question. It's like, duh, just do it. Just balance. Wendy says red could mean confidence that you can keep balance. Yes, absolutely. Steven, sometimes our self-consciousness makes ourselves our audience. We can perform when others are not around. I love that, Steven. Kiana would answer this question by managing my time wisely. I love that, like thinking about this in terms of managing the time to manage our priorities. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that about your fur baby, Jen. This could represent the stock market. Oh boy. That's like a whole nother discussion, isn't it? Julia says, keep your feet on the ground and don't get lost in the deep water. Absolutely. Don't overthink things. Fake it till you make it. Yeah, sometimes does it ever feel like his smile's a little bit plastered? It's like, I got this, right? And it's that painful grin. Heather says, you already know how to balance them. Just get on and do it. Wendy, prioritize what you need to balance so you manage the amount of things to balance. And understand the need of others and not just yours, right? So if we're talking about partnerships as one of the numerological aspects of the two, that makes a lot of sense. Focused inwards to stay balanced, says Maharet. Don't get yourself pulled in with any drama. Oh, right? Preach into that. Coming to terms with your personal strengths and weaknesses, says Simon. Ooh, on that note, love that. All right. I am going to read our next question. Uh-oh. I missed something. Oh, I think it's the other Jen. It was Jen the Baby Witch, if we were talking about the fur baby, Jennifer. Okay, so our next question, and then I will pull. So once again, as a reminder, the 5 decks that I pull each week, I just put them in my random name generator for my entire collection. And I'm whittling down, getting through my deck. This is really fun because before I meet with you guys, I put all these decks in order, which gives me a chance to look at them again. And so today, the first of the alternate 5 decks is the Talking to the Moon Tarot. This is a deck that holds some special memories. So I've got my platform 9 3/4 from when I spent the day with Sandra in the UK. And this is my reminder of my time in the Hermit's Cave with Simon when we walked through this deck together. So it's really fun to see it come up. And our question is, what does the coming year hold for us? All right, so I'm going to get the 2 of Pentacles from this deck. And this deck's a little bit different. It's kind of a lot of bit different. Let's just be real in many regards. But let's go ahead and get this little guy here. So this is our 2 of Pentacles from the Talking to the Moon. You've lost. Did anybody else lose me? Okay. I'm like, I'm still here. Hi, Gracia. Welcome. So here is another version. So I'm going to pull this in really close so you guys can see it. And I won't talk, and then I'll bring it right back. Lots to look at in that card, right? It looks like the pentacles are up. And there's a lot of symbols in this card. You know, the tattoos. Do you notice the earth signs on the fingers? Wait, come on. There we go. Oh, not earth signs. Those are not even earth signs. Yeah, it's almost like the hand cast the pentacles up. Did she toss them up, or are they falling and she's catching them? See, now that gives you 2 really different ways to look at and interpret this card. Definitely speaks to me of juggling finances, says Kiana. Aquarius L, throw it out there and make sure you catch it. Amethyst Moon makes a really good point. Like here, you can keep your eye on both pentacles. Receiving money, says Gracia. Hi, Marge. Flipping 2 coins at once. This is a stolen? Oh, no. Do you think I should take this card down, Simon? That is not good. Sorry, I'm a little bit flabbergasted. Oh, no. All right, you guys. So this is a deck that we found on Etsy. And Simon's just saying he got an email from the creator. This is stolen artwork. So I'm not sure I'm super comfortable continuing to show this card. Thank you, Simon, for the heads up. I did not know that. But we can keep going with this. So keep thinking of our question. We actually do still have. So let's kind of come back to Yeah, it was not cheap. It cost me about $80 to get it here to the US. That's really unfortunate. All right. Well, that was really fun. So let's go back to our original, and I'll bring the other. Let's see. I'll bring the other four cards back here in a second. Let's go back to our question with our original Rider-Waite-Smith. Yeah, please don't buy it. We don't want to support stolen artwork. That's terrible. What does the coming year hold for us? So we talked about how can I balance my priorities this week. But if you were going to use this card to answer what does the coming year hold for us, how would you answer that with the Two of Pentacles? Yeah, there I go, throwing these coins away. I totally had to throw those coins away. Goodness gracious. Oh, I got my first troll in Tarot Playdate. That's fun. We will stay more balanced than we have in the past. Two of Pentacles situation, wanting to show the card and feeling bad about ethics. Yeah, I had to make a Two of Pentacles decision right there on the fly. Thanks for that special Tarot Playdate challenge. Good call, White Tree. Yeah. Yeah, that's just really unfortunate. You know, Simon, I told you I got a funny vibe working with that deck. All right. All right. I'm going to keep going because we do have a bunch of other good questions. Hi, Caroline. And let's go ahead and pull another card. So another deck that I pulled randomly this week is the Healing Light Tarot. And this is really, really different. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's been around for a while, I believe. Pretty backs. And I edged it in blue. And when I use this card to give readings to my son and his fiance, my hands turned completely blue with this particular this particular edging job. I don't know. I shuffled it like so much though, and it was worth it. It was still worth it. All right. So one of the really cool things about this particular deck is they have the, and oh, shoot, I'm not going to remember the name of this either. I don't know. Maybe I dropsies this on purpose. But here is our Two of Pentacles from the Healing Light. And now you got like the first thing that sort of grabbed my attention. Okay, good, Simon. I'm glad you're not taking our video down. That's a special video to me. Of course, it's your channel, so you can do what you want. But here we have two boats again. So let me pull this close. I'll let you guys take a look at everything in this card, and then we'll chat about it some more. There we go. Okay. We are going to be busy tap dancing and balancing resources in the coming year. Absolutely. He's facing the waves. Yeah, you really could interpret like he's looking towards the waves and towards the sea. Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Life, work, balance. I need a lot of that right now. You know, that was my mission this last year. I think that's why this card speaks to me, is this whole of 2019 was all about me finding work-life balance. And I think I did a pretty good job, thanks mostly to a lot of you. Let's see. It says basically the same as the Rider-Waite-Smith. It doesn't deviate too far. This has energy currents and almost a sleight of hand quality to it. So I can't, you know, these two circles, and I forget the word for it, but they always kind of say, like in this particular deck, wherever the two, and there's these in every single card, wherever these overlap, you get this thing in the middle. And the word again, once again, escapes me because I'm on the spot. And a lot of times this will kind of highlight something else in the card. Now, in this case, it just really highlights the water. But a lot of times it'll highlight a source of energy or something like that. And that can be add another layer of meaning to this particular deck. There seems to be a third light at the top center of the card. Yeah, so I kind of look at that, you know, that could be a rising sun maybe, or a setting sun. The problems look like they are overlapping. Oh, see, now I didn't think about that with the two things you're balancing. Here I am thinking it's highlighting the water, but you're right. The things that we're juggling are interconnected or overlapping one another. That's a great point in this card. Venn diagram. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Jilly. Yes, you guys got me. So if we think about this, so our next question that we had is, what do we need to stop obsessing over? So if you were going to use this card to answer, what do we need to stop obsessing over? How would you answer that? Okay, and I'm going to keep reading some of the earlier comments while you guys ponder that for a moment. The Magician putting in a show of prestidigitation. I really do think you guys like to throw really hard words to pronounce at me live just to see how I'll do. Doesn't it sort of look like a cameo shape between the two ships? Let's see. Once again, highlighting. Robin, transparent jellyfish juggler. You with the literal interpretations. You don't let me down. Oh, Simon has just learned something, that it's Ben and not Ben. That's good. Emma says, stop trying to control everything. What do we need to stop obsessing over? Trying to control everything. I like that interpretation. Heather says, trying to have everything in balance all the time. It is okay to let some things drop to focus on other things. Right? Sometimes doing the balancing thing, we get so caught up in that maybe we're not even focusing on what really we need to focus on. Or maybe something does deserve more attention than something else. Kiana, he looks more like he's just holding the pentacles as opposed to juggling them. Yeah, this feels more weighted to me. You know what I mean? Like it feels heavier than the lightness of the juggling in the original RWS. Forever Wear, trying to find common ground between the two choices and moving toward a brighter future. Michelle, mixing work and play. Let's see. Carola says, we have enough already. Be grateful and content with what you have. All you have to make a change in your life, you already have inside of you. Gwen says, stop overthinking and go with the flow. Just concentrate on staying centered. Yeah, they do look like heavy pentacles. Jen, the middle-aged baby witch, it looks like he's doing some sort of powerful magical spell and he's about to unleash the energy of the Two of Pentacles. Well, what kind of impact do you think that will have, Jen? Let's see. Too big to handle, says Olga. Yeah, these are much bigger. Like, this is kind of like me with cards, really big cards in some of my tarot decks. Robin says he's reminding me I should eat a Christmas cookie. Which one should I eat? I would probably just eat both of them. Let's be real. Jilly says, stop obsessing over balancing. Life is never completely in balance. I'm starting to feel like this is a personal message for me right now. The ships are sailing into the sunset, says the Bastet 777. White Tree Tarot, he cannot keep them both up for a long time. Choose, right? So maybe it isn't about staying balanced. Yes, it's letting go. Heather, see, I thought the pentacles were just in the middle and the larger circles were energy from the guy. Oh, so the pentacles just being the smaller circle and then the energy surrounding them. Interesting way of looking at that. Looks like he's holding his options out in front of him. Jen says it will be a big impact. It feels like it will be positive, but could easily go horribly awry with one misstep with all of that energy that's being thrown out there. Kiana says let's see, for me, stop obsessing over money. Yep, I get that. This is the Healing Light Tarot. So here's just kind of the top of the box there. This is a Low Scarabeo deck. Heather says it's like he's holding them up by magic rather than with his hands. Wendy says, sometimes worrying about balancing finances as in law of attraction means your finances will not improve as you are worrying about them. Yeah, it depends on, if you're focusing on the lack, then maybe you're attracting lack, right? Gracia, embrace both your responsibilities and your gifts and joy. Elle says, powerlessness in the face of opposing forces, paralysis by analysis. Oh, that's such a thing. That is such a thing. Stephen says, maybe he is magnifying them so he can see them better. Kiana, thank you so much. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. And the participation has just been phenomenal. All right. That was great, you guys. All right. So let's do another card and another question. All right. So our next question, what can I expect at work this week? So, all right. Now I have the Robin Wood Tarot. This is an oldie but a goodie, one that Simon recently featured on Throwback Thursday. Let's look at the Two of Pentacles in here. And this one tends to lend itself to be pretty close to the Rider-Waite-Smith. Oh, this is going to be fun, you guys. All right. And gals and folks. I do that every time. All right. Here is our Two of Pentacles. I'm going to pull it up close again so you can take a real good look at all the symbols. Oh. I have to admit, seeing this in the camera helps me actually see things in this card I have never seen before. Seems like the scene behind him seems like a whirlwind, very chaotic. The swan boat. Yeah, I had never noticed that before. It's the first thing that really grabbed my attention. That is so cool. Yeah, there's much more air in this. Now, this is really interesting to notice, right? Our boat is on clouds. So with our other Two of Pentacles, we're looking at water being the other element that's really in this card. And there's no water here. Now it's air. So how does that change how we look at or interpret this card? If it does. Gracia is noticing the big moon and the floating boat. Hopefully she doesn't drop, right? This is a tightrope, not just one foot on the ground. Like, this fall's going to hurt a lot more. Yeah, the swan boat I just think is gorgeous, Sandra. Jen's like, I'm just too busy staring at how beautiful the card is to interpret it. Heather says, balancing the physical and the mental. I love that for this. Yes. Jen, use logic to choose and rise above the chaos for smooth sailing. The Bassett 777, use your knowledge here and not your feelings or emotions, or feelings/emotions. Is it the moon or is it the sun? It looks moonish to me, but again, it also looks like it's daytime. So what does that mean? Move slowly, says Michelle. Yes. Higher stakes, she can fall, says White Tree Tarot. Wendy. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Thank you for coming. Have a really great Christmas holiday. Gwen says, that moon reminds me of the power of intuition to keep in balance. So our question for this card, oh, wait, I want to see what Amethyst says here about swans tend to be connection to spirit and intuition. Maybe you can ask for support. Okay, keep your balance when your head's above the clouds. Walk the line carefully, says Robin Twitzel Tarot. Yeah, I really like this card. I'm just enamored by it. I really am. Maybe she is above the clouds where you always saw the sun. Snow time. All right. So the question that we had is, what can I expect at work this week? Now, I actually find it really interesting that that's our question. We have this card to look at in reference to that question, because I think of the air element in here. I can really see that driving a lot towards how we might focus on this in relation to a question about work. So what can I expect at work this week? So Jennifer, I think you asked this question, right? So what does this card tell you to expect? I'm not trying to call people out. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to. I realized I just put you on the spot. All right. Somewhere in time, or Caroline, not seeing things as they are above the clouds because the moon keeps secrets. Things are not as they seem. Olga says, everything will go smoothly if we keep focused. So again, we talk about sort of not losing that focus so that we don't drop or fall, dropsies. Maybe I'm very focused today. That's why there's been no dropsies. Martin says, swans mate for life, don't they? And the moon is the keeper of secrets and is often called a jealous moon. So I would say fall off the tightrope and pick one lover. There you go. Not sure that has to do with work unless your lover's at work, which in that case, rise above the work bullshit. Pride goeth before a fall, says Robin. Oftentimes it does. Yeah, this is the Robinwood Tarot. Gwen, a situation might seem cloudy at work, but if you concentrate and follow your intuition, you'll find balance. Jennifer says, need to keep things in perspective. Yeah, don't let anything become bigger than it is, more than it is, heavier than it is. Tightrope. That made me feel like there's more tension to this card. Absolutely. Like I said, you know, if this guy falls down, all right, maybe scrape something. She falls down, a lot more damage. You have faith in me that I'll still drop something. You know, I've still got a couple more decks to pull out, so you just never know. Let's see, above. A work situation is causing anxiety and stress, says Gracia. Yeah, because there is so much tension in this card. I did read it out loud. Heather, did I surprise you? I actually said it. This isn't a Becca chat, but, you know, every once in a while. Maharat says, I do this for myself with 3 different decks here and there and get a different answer for every card. Yeah, it really can influence. Or if you need clarity. Let's see. Your head is in the clouds with some need to balance, says Foreverware. Don't let lofty aspirations get the better of you, says Robin. What did you read? I said the word bullshit. I did. So Janet Science to Soul said rise above the work bullshit, and I said it. Now I've said it like 3 times, maybe 4 times. Sorry. So swearing alert. I don't know if there's supposed to be a warning about that. The universe has got our back, says the psychic knitter. When focusing on the physical work, leave the winds of the mind and lunar illusion behind. I know. I'm pretty tame. I mean, you get me off camera, it might be a slightly different story, but the swan sort of looks like a stork. Yeah, I feel like with that, it could be a stork or a swan. It's got that really long beak, so that is kind of storkish, isn't it? We all interpret it differently. All right, I think you guys did a pretty good job of interpreting that in a work question. All right, let's set that one aside. All right, we have 2 more questions because we did an extra question. I had an extra question and 1 less card that we could really focus on. So that's been an interesting challenge. All right, breathe and get ready for the next one. All right, let's do this one next. This particular deck was a gift from my son, so it's always very special. I'm not sure it's one I would have bought for myself, but I have the Linestrider Tarot here. And our question for this card, so we can, well, actually, let's go ahead and get our kind of first impressions, notice of the difference, and then I'll remind us of the question here. I kind of like doing it that way. And because I'm hosting, right? All right. Here is our Linestrider. Now, because there's so much white space, hopefully you'll be able to see this okay. I have not done a walkthrough of this deck, Heather. It's been around for a long time, but I certainly could. So I'm going to get kind of close to his image there. What do we notice? Once again, looking at this closer with you guys, I see he's got the lemniscate right there on his little shirt collar or on his shirt. That's impressive mustache, isn't it? Olga says he looks more like the devil. You know, just for you, Heather, I just might do it. I'm looking for things to do on my channel anyway. He doesn't look very focused, said Michelle. So let's look at his expression. Come on, guy. Come on. You know you wanna. There we go. The lemniscate right here. See it? Yeah, and do you notice he's like looking up? Like he's looking up. He's not looking at either one of these pentacles. How in the heck is he doing that would be my question. The wave coming up behind him. Oh, yeah, see? There it is. A little bit of a wave in the background here. He's standing on 1 foot. Yeah, he's holding on one pentacle and the other one's kind of up in the air. This one evokes a really different feeling. Like he doesn't seem concentrated. He seems a little flighty to me, like woohoo. The smaller pentacles are easier to keep up. He looks relaxed, like dropping one is not a big deal. Yeah, he doesn't seem so intense about it. Michelle says he feels like he isn't very, or he looks like he isn't very prepared. Steven's like, he's got this. Like he's evoking confidence for sure. Anne says he looks like he's taking his eye off the ball. More circus-like, says Aquarius Owl. Hopefully I didn't miss too many contents. Is he on the side of a hill? It's hard to say. Yeah, I don't know. It's very abstract. So I would say interpret it. What you see is what it is. Yeah, it looks like if he drops one, he knows he can just pick it back up again. He's much more careless, I think. So our question that we had was, what do we need to let go of in 2019 to prepare for 2020? Yeah, he seems more accustomed to the juggling act, Gwen. So the Two of Pentacles, what do I need to let go of in 2019 to prepare for 2020? So this is kind of similar to what do I need to stop obsessing over, but not actually the same. Relax, says Jamie. Control, says Gwen. Yeah, I see this, and with this kind of change in stance, it's, yeah, don't worry. Stephen, is that what you mean? Don't worry, we got this, or worry, we got this? Heather, the need to have everything in perfect balance. Like, let go of it. Trust yourself a bit more. You don't have to focus so intently. You don't have to try so hard. Maybe things will come a little easier if we relax a little bit into it. Emma, get your act together. Yeah, iridescent sea. Hi there, by the way. If you practice letting it go, eventually it becomes natural. Gracia says, let go of stressing over things that are not really worth it. Play more, says Olga. Let go of the worry. Yeah, Stephen. Okay, that's what I thought you were saying. Oh, let go of. I see. I got it. I understand how you phrase that now. Heather says, let go of whatever you dropped. You can pick it back up again next year. Oh, that's a good one. And, a lot of people have been putting out their videos about their 2019 depth year, including you, Heather. Great video. And a lot of it is, okay, we have all these expectations for ourselves. I didn't do a depth year, but I know a lot of people have been talking about their expectations for themselves and kind of letting that go, right? And then getting to, so if we didn't succeed or we didn't have things go exactly as we wanted them to, being able to let that go as we move into the new year. I like that a lot. Sorry, I took that and I ran with it. If he drops on that hill, it'll roll beyond his reach. So prepare to let things go. Caroline says, don't worry, things will fall into place in 2020. Marge says, oh, can you tell me all about the tarot Playdate? Is this something to watch for every week? Yes, Marge, we're doing this every week, except we're going to take a break next Sunday, the 22nd, and we pull a different card every week. So if you check out on my channel, there is kind of an introductory video at the beginning, and I have a whole Playdate series playlist. So if you go back to the beginning, it will kind of describe what the intention is and what the format is and what it's intended to be. You can also join our Facebook group, Tarot Playdate Facebook group, and we continue the discussion there. All right, Gwen says, go with the flow. It'll become easier. White Tree Tarot, maybe don't do everything just the way you have used to. Don't put up the same show. Yeah, switch things up a bit. Ooh, I like that. Run away, it totally worked. You know what, you guys? So I do this all the time. So we had our company Christmas party on Friday night, so 2 nights ago, and we went bowling. And I am a terrible bowler. Like, I will do the biggest dance ever if I break 100, if any of you know what that means with bowling. But it's like I roll the ball down the lane and I know it's going to be terrible. I just turn around and walk away. Like, I don't watch the destruction. I don't watch it go into the gutter. I'm just like, nope, I'm not going to watch that. I'm going to go get my ball for the next one. So this kind of reminds me of that, if that doesn't sound super strange. All right, Stephen says, if the wave is going to crash over us, worrying is not going to help. All right. All right, so we're getting here on an hour, and we're actually doing pretty good, but I want to keep us moving. Sue, oh, you're there. Okay, we're going to put you there. I have one final card and one final question. So I saved the card means more bowling for Jen in 2020. I'm not sure it does. I am not sure it does. All right, my last deck that I randomly pulled, the Sasorobido. I love, love, love Love this deck. And our question is from Simon at the Hermit's Cave. We just had to get this question in. How can I contribute to peace on earth? Love it. Love it. Especially after, you know, an emotional election in the UK. We're not talking politics here, folks. But you know, we've had a lot going on in the US. Apparently there have been recent wildfires in Australia. My goodness. Okay. So I'm trying to, all right. Oh, I love this. I love the look of this card in relation to this question. All right. How can I contribute to peace on earth? But also feel free to just point out what you notice different in this card. All right. I'm afraid if I get too close, it's going to get super glossy. Let's see here. There we go. Simon says we have to counterbalance the negativity with our positivity and put it out there. I love that interpretation. Absolutely. Are they oranges? I don't know. You know, it's funny because other pentacles in this deck actually look like pentacles, but they're different. You know, a lot of decks will have kind of a similar look to the pentacles, and she changes things up. Aquarius Al says reaching. Robin says toss your daisies and your joy will keep the world in balance. What kind of flowers? Oh, where's Twist the Leaf? He's my flower person. Okay, let's see here. Can you see what kind of flowers? There we go. Did I freeze for anyone else? I don't seem frozen on this side. Uh-oh. My kitty needs in his litter box. Okay, you think about this card. Okay, I'm sorry, TK. Here you go. Sorry. Kitty emergency. He usually goes right before I do this, so then I can keep that door closed. Balance feelings with actual action, says Heather. Buttercups. Hi, Abundance Tarot. Oh, hi, Kimberly. Let's see. Yellow flowers are standing for hope, joy, and peace. See, that was the immediate thing that I got in relation to this question. How can I contribute to peace on earth? And then we got this beautiful flowery card. It just, I don't know, it made me happy. Could be marigolds or orange blossoms. Seems like the consensus is these are probably buttercups. Gwen says, the universe will always find balance, so don't over worry and stay positive. Oranges stand for abundance. I did not know that. It makes sense then that they would be used in the pentacle suit. Hi, Mark. Well, oh, good. I'm glad you joined the group. Somebody will let you in. Let's see. Reaching out for the oranges and not having them in hand. We're noticing that. All right. How can I contribute to peace on earth? That's a deep question. Simon, I really loved the way that you phrased that. I'm going to even go back up and I'm going to kind of say that again because I thought that was really beautiful. If I can find it, of course. Yeah, we have to counterbalance the negativity with our positivity and put it out there. And sometimes that's really hard to do. It's hard not to get caught up in that negativity. But if we can help balance that out, then maybe we won't lose focus on what's really important. Yes, thank you, Simon. One above the other in this card. So one is supporting the other. Flowers are a symbol of peace as a flower in the muzzle of a gun. Oh. Numerologist, is there a 7 and 2 relationship here? Where's the 7 coming from, Robin? Offer your blessings and magic to the world, says Stephen. This looks very pagan, says Marge. Oh, 7 flowers. Oh, good counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Plus a bud. There's one little bud on the side. Well, maybe 2 little buds, but yeah. No boats, nothing in balance. It's almost an 8. Yeah, so our lemniscate is also looking like an 8 here, but here's where our lemniscate is in this card, right? With the shaping of the flowers. All right. What a beautiful question to ask at the end there. I'm glad we pulled that one in here. Okay, so now, because I'm not forgetting this time, let's talk about um, the Two of Pentacles reversed. Oh, Iridescent Sea got another one in here too. Realize that contrary to duality and appearances, you are very abundant. Thank you, Jen. Jen, my cheerleader. That's what I call her. All right. So if we see this card, for those of you who read reversals, again, I am not one of them, but I do often read cards in a challenge position or block type position. So if our Two of Pentacles is reversed or blocked or in a challenge position, yeah, Stephen, feeling all warm and fuzzy. I know I really should have ended it on that, right? I should have done the reversal before that. Okay. Oh, good. We got some more folks in the Facebook. Thank you for posting the link to that, Heather. I really appreciate it. So Two of Pentacles reversed, challenge blocked. What do you think? Your hat falls off. And that's a really heavy hat. So I bet it falls off quite quickly. The infinity symbol is a perfect mirror, the both sides. Yeah, I feel like that's really true too in a card like this, right? Where it's very, very much kind of similar size and shape. Forever Where says, if this is reversed, you have lost balance. Chaos reigns. Gwen says, you are blocking balance and probably will drop something soon. We're still waiting for my dropsies today. Oh, thanks for accepting people right away, Heather. Appreciate it. Struggling with priorities, says Jilly. Yeah, so a lot of times it's not necessarily, at least in my readings about reversals, right? It's not always necessarily the opposite, but maybe more of a challenge to be able to invoke the energy of the card or the advice that it's giving you. What was up is now down, no foundation. So we saw this last week too in the Two of Swords, right? Where, you know, she's on this really firm cement-like foundation. And same here in this card, but when you turn that upside down, that foundation is no longer there. Anne says emotions will drown and you'll lose material balance. You're biting off more than you can chew, says Gracia. Losing ground, says Jilly. Yeah, taking that in a really kind of literal but meaningful way. Oh, thank you guys. I really appreciate you being here. See. Waiting in expectation for Jen to drop this card. I almost feel like I should just do it just to get it over with. But you know, I gotta keep you guessing. I can't be too predictable. What fun would that be? The water will overtake you if this is reversed. Maharet says, focus on the low points. Takes way more effort to balance out as a focus on balance or the center ever would. Just drop the mic. There. There you go. All right. When he's reversed, he looks like he has a rubber finger cover on his head. You know, I used to use those to file paperwork. I know what you're talking about. All right. Anything else that kind of keeps coming to mind here? Keep swimming or you will drown. You know, I think you guys have done a pretty good job with the reversals and blocks. We covered a lot of different meanings of this card today. Oh my God, my mouth hurts, you guys. I've been smiling the whole dang time. Clearly, I enjoy this. I'm going to miss you all next week. I'm telling you. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here, and let's talk about our activities for the week. Now, once again, I'm going to throw this out as a caveat. We all sort of, you know, the tarot playbook that we've incorporated into our tarot play date is a deck of activity, or it's a book of activities that helps you connect to your tarot deck, not necessarily a particular card, but on each of the activities, they reference a different tarot card. But we've kind of noticed that those activities are not really related to the energy or theme or archetype in that card, but it really is just a great way to randomly pick an activity for the week. So if you want to further connect with your card and you have this book, I don't read these out loud because I'm trying to avoid copyright issues, and now I have to avoid stolen artwork issues. It's tricky on YouTube, isn't it? But we also have an alternative activity, and our alternative activities that we created are definitely intended to be more in the spirit of the card. So Our activity this week, if you have the Tarot Playdate, and it's pretty inexpensive. This is by Schiffer Publishing, and I actually got mine from Schiffer, but I know they have it on Amazon as well. So the Two of Pentacles is called Instant Expert. So I'm going to quickly scan. So they basically say there are 3 ways you can become an expert on your card, and they give you 2 ridiculous ways. And then basically the third way is to kind of talk about your cards. Okay. There is a point in the book where it tells you to lick your card. I'm not sure about that. I'm really not sure about that. But this is on page 142. And as a reminder, once this video posts, I'm going to read through the alternative activity. I know sometimes I read it fast and you can't always write it down. I'll try and read it a little bit. So I know, I'll have to read it more. I'm a terrible skimmer. Like, I really have to read all the words to understand what this is saying. That sounds a little sketch to me. But I will post, once this video uploads, I will post the Tarot Playbook activity and the alternate activity, and I will also have them posted in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group. And then also don't forget, if you're on Instagram and you want to share with us your Two of Pentacles cards or any of the cards from the previous Playdates, or your results of your activities, or any other thoughts, things that come up. We had a lot when we did the Nine of Pentacles, our first one. We had a lot of people really having things in life remind them of that card or bring that card to mind, and sharing those on social media was really fun to see. So I highly encourage. All right, let me get the alternate activity up here. And Two of Pentacles. Now I have to be honest and say I did not read the book before I said I was going to incorporate into Playdate. It's been kind of fun. There have been some good ones. This last week, the activity was called something like Going to the Dark Side, and you basically pick a court card and you imagine like all the worst character traits of that card, and then so you basically take that archetype, that character, that card to the dark side, and then once you're done with that, then you bring them back into the light and you focus on all the positives. And it actually was a really clever way to really connect with all sides of the court card. And I only did it with one, and they say you could do it with all of them. So there are some good activities in here, but I don't know about the licking of the card. So anyway. All right, so our Two of Pentacles, this one is called, let me see here. This card is called, or this activity is called Both Sides Now. And the activity is, and once again, if you can't write down this fast enough, I promise I will post it. Create 3 columns on a piece of paper or an electronic spreadsheet document if you're that kind. The first column is the card. The second is the positives, and the third is the negatives. Oh, that's really funny now that I just said that, what I just said. Grab your deck and pull 1 or more cards. As you draw each card, write the card name in the first column. Then in your positive columns, note all the positive attributes and meanings. And on the other side, or in the third column, write the negative meanings for each card. This will really encourage you to look at each card from both a positive and a negative aspect, keeping things in balance. So, oh my gosh, how many are people talking about licking the cards? But I find that really funny because that's kind of what last week's Tarot Playbook activity was about, looking at the negative and the positive. I swear I didn't copycat that. This was done a while ago. But and so this can help you connect to not only this card, but also other cards in your deck. Okay, Penny Pinch's cards taste like pizza. I cannot wait to read this section of the chat back. So once again, as a reminder, before I send you off for your Christmas holiday, for those of you who celebrate that, I just want to remind you that we are not going to be here next Sunday on the 22nd, but we will be back on Sunday the 29th. So after Christmas, before New Year's, let's go into the year together, excited about tarot. And I just want to thank you all for making my 2019, everybody that I've met, chatted with, interacted with, and I'm going to post some more videos before the end of the year. But I just want to say you have made my year. And this has been a really whole lot of fun. And if this is your first time joining us for Tarot Playdate, I'm glad you're here. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know if you're if you were live or if you're watching this back, let me know in the comments below what you think, if you have questions, and we'll just keep making this fun for everyone. You guys are awesome. I'm going to say goodbye and wish you happy holidays. Much love.